We got black, Latinos, and Native Americans. When the Lord says that our kingdom is to come, as long as we follow the law, statutes, and commandments.
I got the camera bag, I'm the cameraman. If shit getting active, I'ma stand it down. We taking ground, call the ambulance. That shit go right, left, right, left. If shit go left, you best get right, or you'll get left. You got that right. That shit go. If you got a problem, we'll handle it. Niggas acting hard, you better stand on it. We on every corner, we stamping it. You better get your life for this camp shit. We ain't playing around, there's no cowards, dog. If niggas charged up, you get powered off. Rude of speech, keep it raw. It ain't my fault that you niggas soft. It ain't my fault that these niggas frauds. It ain't my fault that them niggas rats. If your colors fly, you don't get that shit go. Left, right, left, left. If shit go left, you best get right, or you'll get left. You got that right. That shit go left, right, left. If shit go left, you best get right, or you'll get left. You got that right. That shit go.
Wanna go to war, gotta hop into the van. Tryna cut the semen, something you don't understand. Getting checked from my betterment, better take it like a man. Nigga, how you walk away for camp? If you willing to die, you better be willing to stand. Take a trip around the world, see a bunch of corners held by them UPK niggas. All them UPK niggas go to camp. And I'm on Shamar, head hanging out the car. Wonder when I pull up straight to the battlefield. And I'ma make sure niggas make it back home. Say, nigga, what you thought? Whether anything moving, I be on. Gotta remind them, we nothing like them niggas that you saw. If you hear back up, that'll be your last time to get out the way. The price to pay before.
That shit go.
Nah, for real though.
Left. If shit go left, you best get right, or you'll get left. You got that right. That shit go left.
Nah, for real though.
Left. If shit go left, you best get right, or you'll get left. You got that.
How about some y'all shot right there? Move that gun! Move that gun! Move that gun! The Father we fear! The Father we fear! Yahweh! Israel! Israel! Israel!
All right. Clap it up, clap it up. All right. We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. We bring out the truth that Blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians are the true Jews that the Bible speaks of. We are under Commanding General Yohana, and we are not affiliated with any fake Israelite groups or Christian organization. Tonight is the history class. So if you are here, you could be anywhere else, but you're here. And we're thankful that you're here. This is the history class. Okay. See, we got brothers and sisters checking in. Officer of 1,000, Mataza Kara. Shalom, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shabbarakatah. Okay. We got Aqua Dasa. Shalom, Yahweh Shamar, Elathan, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. We have Aqua Ra'ah. Shalom, Yahweh Shamar, Elathan, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. Okay. We got Aqua Zaraka. Shalom, Yahweh Shamar, Elathan, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. Okay. That's Trooper McQual Ya'ala. Shalom, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabbarakatah. We got Aqua Tazarai. Shalom, Yahweh Shamar, Elathan, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. Shalom Kai Tawab. Yeah. Shalom Yatawab. Salat. Yeah. So yeah, I'm Tawab. So everybody, this is the history class, and the history is very important to know where we started, where we began. And if you know where we began and you follow that line all the way through history, you kind of get a better understanding for where we are now. We got more brothers checking in. Yeah, more brothers and sisters checking in. But yeah, if you can follow that line, you'll see, we had some great brothers biblically, historically, in the truth. And, some brothers, they made some steps that they shouldn't have made, which ultimately led to the hell that we are experiencing on earth today. And you just think about the brothers biblically that went wrong till today. You got these pastors in these Christian church, they are all twisted up. They are all out of whack. They'll teach you that you're the opposite of the Israelites. They'll teach you that you're Gentiles. And it's funny, when I was growing up in Christian church, the pastor would refer to myself and the congregation as the Gentile. So, it kind of, even back then, it kind of made me feel like, well, damn, if I'm them, well, who the hell is the Israelites?
Right.
Who the hell is the Israelite? Because, you're reading the Bible, this is all I hear is Israelite this, Israelite that. And you telling me I'm the ones that, these people were disgusted by. So, it doesn't really make for a friendly environment. You reading a book to somebody and telling them that they are the people that this Bible is speaking about in such disdain and such hatred for. The Israelites despise the heathen nations. Right. We despise the heathen nations. So for a Christian pastor, okay, we got Sister Kenyatta from Norfolk. Shalom, Yahweh Shema, Lataba, Hashem Yahweh Shah. We got Officer 500 Yagadar. Shalom, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah Barakatah. Akwata Na. Shalom, Yahweh Shema, Alataba, Hashem Yahweh Shah. But yeah, we despise the heathen nation. And we know that now that we're in the truth, that we're in the ISUPK. But prior to coming to the truth, we were just thinking that, hey, look, God loves everybody. And really, they had to paint that narrative. They had to teach that so you would keep coming. Because your logic, your common sense would tell you, right, if this book is speaking about me like a dog and they hate me, the people that wrote this book, the authors of this book hates me and despise me, then why would I keep continuing to show up and read the book? Why? I would have no reason to. So, the Christian pastor, okay, so it's important that you understand, right? These Negro Christian pastors have been ordained by white Christian pastors, okay? They've been ordained and ordained as ministers by white Christian pastors to teach their truth, which is a lie. Our truth is the real truth. And you won't get the truth anywhere else but in the ISUPK under Commanding General Yohanan. We have the real truth. They speak of a truth, but their truth is a lie. Okay? So when you come in here, it kind of flips things upside down. Well, Salakia, it turns things upright. Okay? The Christian pastor had everything flipped upside down. Well, they had us on the bottom and the heathen nations on the top of us. They had Amalek as quote unquote the real Jew. They're not the real Jew. The blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians are the real Jew. But go to that Christian church, like I said, from the time you can understand and hear and walk, they try to indoctrinate you into a truth that excludes you, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian men, women, and children. When the Bible was written for you and by you, these are our records. These are our records. Anybody outside of that family tree, they are the heathens. If you are outside those 12 tribes, you are a heathen. We know now, being in here, the Blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indian people are the true Jews. So, okay, Officer 50 calls upon my brother, Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabarakatah. Okay, we are the true Jews. Okay, so I'm going to go into the lineage, and I'm going to try to draw a line for you throughout this lineage as best as possible, because you know it's something when you first come in here and you first find out the real truth of who you are. It takes so much undoing. You have to undo everything that's been done, and you know, I pray you have the strength to undo it. You know, because there's so much that has been done to us as a people. It'll take our lifetime, our kids' lifetimes, and probably their grandkids' lifetime to undo everything that has been done, to undo the systematic programming that has been placed upon us. They program you to believe you are nothing. As the Bible speaks about the Gentiles and the other nations of people, as they are nothing, you have been programmed to think that you are nothing, because that's what the Christian church told you were. When really, you were the Israelites. You were the golden children. You know, you were the children of the inheritance. So, yeah, I'm going to try to draw Akwa Tabara, Shalom, Yahweh Shamar, Allah Taba, Hashem Yahweh Shah. Yeah, already saluted, also called. But yeah, so I'm going to go into the scripture. The first scripture I want to pull, we're going to speak about our patriarchs, right? Our fathers, our forefathers. You know, the men who came and paved the way for us. Okay? So you know, first and foremost, I want to speak about Abraham. Okay? Abraham was a just man. Abraham was a perfect man, the Lord said, you know. And we know what made Abraham perfect. Abraham did what the Most High told him to do. Simple. So you, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian men, women, and children, if you do what the Most High has told you to do, you will be perfect. The only way you can do what the Most High has told you to do is following the law, statutes, and commandments. To know that, you have to go to the scripture. So my first scripture, I'm going to go to Isaiah 51, and I'm going to start reading there. We're going to find, you know, Abram as he was before he got his name changed, before that oil was poured on his head, like that oil has been poured on all of our heads that are in here, you know. And when we get that oil poured on our head, we all heard that saying that you will no longer be known as what you were in the world. And you get that oil poured on your head and come forth, you're being known as someone different. Okay. Akwat Amadai, Shalom, Yahweh Shamar, Allah Taba, Hashem Yahweh Shah. Okay. Yeah, you get that oil poured on your head, you're somebody different. Okay, so I'm going to go to Isaiah 51 and 1. Okay. Isaiah 51 and 1. Yeah, so we are a special people to the Most High. Isaiah 51. And like I said, I'm going to start with Abraham. Okay? So, Isaiah chapter 51, verse 1. Hearken to me, ye that follow after righteousness, ye that seek the Most High. Look unto the rock whence ye are hewn, and to the hole of the pit whence ye are digged. Verse 2. Look unto Abraham your father, and unto Sarah that bare you, for I called him alone, and blessed him, and increased him. Verse 3. For the Most High shall comfort Zion. He will comfort all her waste places, and he will make her wilderness like Eden, and her desert like the garden of the Most High. Joy and gladness shall be found therein, thanksgiving and the voice of melody. Okay, verse 4. Hearken unto me, my people, and give ear unto me, O my nation, for a law shall proceed from me, and I will make my judgment to rest for a light of the people. Okay, so I'm going to stop there for a second, because there's a lot in there. Okay, there's a lot in there. Okay, so as I'm looking through this, the Most High just said some powerful things. Okay, he said, I will make her desert. You know, the Most High shall comfort Zion. Okay, and all her waste places. Okay, so he's going to make the places that are the worst. He spoke about this. He said the places that are the worst, he's going to make them like Eden. Okay, the deserts, he was going to make gardens. So he was going to take what was bad and make it good. Okay, he was going to take what was bad and make these things good. All right, the Most High is speaking about Abraham, okay, your father. And he said he would increase Abraham. Okay, the Most High said he would increase Abraham, meaning that there would be a long lineage coming from Abraham. That lineage is Blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians. When he said he's going to make you a father of many nations, he was talking about us, Israel. Okay, we came from Abraham. This is our father. Okay, this is the one who started our lineage. Okay, being blessed by the Most High for being a righteous man. All right. So I'm going to go into now. I want to go to Genesis 17. All right. Go to Genesis 17. And yeah, I'm going to start at 1. You know, we have always had law. We have always had a law. And, you know, the water to Abraham for following that law and keeping that law. Because if he wouldn't, hey, who knows? Who knows what would have happened? You know? Okay, so in Genesis 17, all right, and when Abram was 90 years old and 9, the Most High appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the Almighty power. Walk before me and be thou perfect. So he said that again. Be perfect. What does perfect mean? You know, I just gave y'all the answer. Somebody put in the chat, what does it mean to be perfect? Okay, looks like we got somebody in the chat. I don't know if the brother is looking for understanding or is he looking? I'm not sure. You know, brother, if you got a question, you know, put it in the chat, and you know, Ottawa or myself will be sure to try to address it. I don't, I pray the brother's looking for understanding. If he's not,
He looking for understanding.
Okay.
All he gotta do, or she, just gotta let me know the block.
Right. Come
That's all they gotta do.
Come. Yeah. He must don't know. We on the blocks every Saturday. Every Saturday we are on the blocks. Speaking of Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian people. Every Saturday.
Ready to die.
Right. We are. Yeah. So
ready to die. I hope you understand.
Right. Kawaka. We are no cowards here. We are on the blocks teaching this word of the Most High every week. Where are you at?
Right.
I pray you understand. Okay, Salakia, sir, loyal. Okay, okay. I can, kind of somewhat say, yeah, loyal. I'm looking for not a better answer. Not that was a bad answer. That was a great answer, but a more specific answer. What does it mean to be perfect? To the Most High, what does it mean to be perfect? Let me phrase it like that. Okay. What does it mean to be perfect? Okay. All right. There we are. Okay. True McCall, your Allah has it. Following the law. That's it. That brother hand. That's the answer that I was looking for. Following the law of the Most High. That's what it means to be perfect.
Damn right.
That's what it means. Okay. In simple form, that is exactly what it is. Okay. Following the laws of the Most High. Okay. So now Genesis 17, verse 2. And I will make my covenant between me and thee, and I will multiply thee exceedingly. Okay. So basically, again, he's saying to Abram at this time that if you do what I've told you to do, I will multiply you. Okay. I'm going to make you great in numbers.
That's right.
Your family, your heritage, your bloodline will continue and grow. You will be a mighty people. Okay. You will grow. Verse 3. And Abram fell on his face, and the power talked with him, saying, verse 4. As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. Okay? He's going to be a father of many nations, of many people. Blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indian people. He's going to be a father. Verse 5. Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be called Abraham, for a father of many nations I have made thee. Okay? So Abram became Abraham. He got that oil poured on his head. Okay? He got that oil poured on his head, like we get that oil poured on our head. Okay? And he stepped into the truth.
Damn right.
Okay? He became Abraham. He became what the Most High wanted him to be. He was no longer known as Abram, which he was known in the world. He was known as Abraham. That's what the Most High wanted him to be named. And that's what he came forth as. Okay? So Abraham was a perfect man. He kept the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Okay? Akwat Amadah got the answer right too. Get that sister hand. He kept the law, statutes, and commandments. Simply. That's it. Simply put. Okay? So we got our patriarchs. I'm going through the history with y'all. I'm trying to draw a line from then till now. So now we're going to get into who came from Abraham. Isaac. Okay. So Isaac, I want to go to Genesis. Let's see. Genesis 26. Okay. Genesis 26. We're going to get a little bit about Isaac. Okay, 26. All right, I got 1 through 4 here. Okay, Genesis chapter 26, verse 1. And there was a famine in the land beside the first famine that was in the days of Abraham, and Isaac went unto Abimelech, king of the Philistines, unto Gerar. Verse 2. And the Most High appeared unto him and said, Go not down unto Egypt. Dwell in the land which I shall tell thee of. Verse 3. Sojourn in this land, and I will be with thee, and will bless thee. For unto thee and unto thy seed I will give all these countries, and I will perform the oath which I swear unto Abraham thy father. Okay, verse 4. And I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars of heaven, and I will give unto thy seed all these countries, and in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed. And it's speaking about again how if we follow the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High and do what the Most High has commanded us to do, then the Most High is going to bless us. The Most High is telling Isaac the same thing he told his father Abraham. I'm going to increase you. All right? I'm going to increase you. By you doing, your father did a damn good job. That's what he's telling them. Your father did a damn good job. If you keep up the work that your father did, I'm going to increase you, just like I did him. Okay, we got Troop Ayan Paquat, Shalom, Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Barakatah. And we got Akwa Shakal, Shalom, Yahweh Shamar, Alatah, Hashem, Yahweh Shah. Property, ribbon property of Ayan Paquat. Okay, Shalom to y'all. Shalom, shalom. The Most High told him, if you do what I have commanded you, the same way your father did, I'm going to bless you like I did your father. Okay. Abraham kept his charge. Abraham did what he told him to do. Okay, verse 5. Because that Abraham obeyed my voice and kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws. Okay. So what we just said, what makes you perfect? Keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. And he's talking to Isaac saying the same thing. I'm going to bless you.
That's right.
For you to do it. If you do what your father did, I'm going to bless you the same way.
Right.
Okay. So let me see where I'm at here. I got verse 6. Okay, verse 6. And Isaac dwelt in Gerar. Okay. So basically, we just got Abraham and we got Isaac. I'm trying to draw this, this line for y'all. Because what's milk to us is meat to others. Some people don't know this. Some people ain't picked up the Bible a day in their life and read it. So I'm teaching a history class. So, we're going to do a slow walk. We're going to do a slow dance with this truth tonight. All right. And our founding fathers, our fathers in this truth, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Those are our fathers in this truth. Okay. So we know what Abraham did. He was perfect. He kept the laws of the Most High. And we see what Isaac, Isaac is being introduced to this, to this book of history that we have. You know, just like all these other men, these are fathers and grandfathers and, you know, uncles and cousins. You know, this is a family tree here. This is a family affair, you know. And both sides Christ. Officer Yagador. I play it too, Officer Yagador. I plan to do just that.
Damn right.
You know, we are family. And the Bible is rightfully ours. It's our property. Okay? This is our property. And, you know, the oppressor, being the devil that he is, he wants to take everything good from black people. You know? So, of course, if they're going to take our money, they're going to take our labor. They're going to take anything that would make us good in this society, in this economy. Why would they not try to take the Most High from us? Okay? Why would they not try to? Because that's the way. Okay, look, even, you know, if you know, brothers that's locked up, you know, hey, hell, they allowed to read the Bible. You know, they allowed to read the Bible. I mean, damn, you know, hey, you can. I don't care what you did. You can go to solitary confinement. You can still read the Bible. You know, they won't take the Bible for, you know, but well, Salaki, they will. You know, hey, the oppressor is the devil. The Bible speaks. I mean, you know, they will take the Bible from you. You know, you do something bad enough, you know, they will take the Bible from you. You know, and just lock you up in a box with, you know, yeah. But anyway, so yeah, this is our history book, and this is the history class, and you are in it. So, you know, everybody that's here in attendance, give yourself a hand. Give yourself a hand. This is the history class. You know, the brother looking for knowledge, or brother or sister looking for knowledge, you know, I pray they learn something. I pray they you know, they find something that gives them peace, you know, in this class or the next class, you know. Because if you're a Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian man, woman, or child, you are my brother or my sister. You know, the other nations I do not care about.
That's right.
I don't care about. You know, so take that and do what you will with it. You know, and you will see that us in here, we're all about brotherhood. You know, we are all about brotherhood. We're not, you know, we're not looking to start anything with anybody who's Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian. You know, but you know, we will tell the devil to his face, "You are the devil." The Bible speaks of. You know,
right?
So, okay, so yeah, we got Isaac, we got Abraham, we got the seed that came out of Abraham, which is Isaac, and now we want to speak about Jacob, the seed that came out of Isaac. Okay, this is the seed that came out of Isaac, and I'm using those words, seed and lineage and things like that, because that's how you draw the correlation. That's how it registers in your mind that, okay, this is speaking about one family, one nation of people. Okay, so basically, if you can, okay, we got Radical Shah, Shalom, Yahweh Shem Shabbat. Okay, if we can draw the correlation that this is one family, then we can get out the foolish idea that everybody's invited to the cookout. Everybody is not invited to the cookout. These are, like I said, these are fathers, these are grandfathers, these are brothers, these are cousins, okay, that are invited to the cookout. This is an invitation only. And we better not catch you giving an invitation to one of them oppressors. You know, smack your hand. You know, the oppressors cannot have an invitation to the cookout. You know, This is family only. This is family business. Okay, so I'm gonna go into Genesis 25, and we're gonna read a little bit about Jacob. Okay, and I love reading Genesis. I love to go back and start at the beginning. And I would say for everybody to do that. Go to the beginning, go to Genesis, and all the way back to Revelation, and go to Revelation back to Genesis. Because I don't care if you read the Bible 100 times, read it 100 more. You're gonna see 100 things that you didn't see the first time. And there's nobody that's that learned that they need to stop reading and learning this Bible. Everybody can stand to learn something. So, okay, I'm going to Genesis 25 now. Okay, Genesis 25 and 19. 25 and 19. Okay. Genesis chapter 25, verse 19. And these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begot Isaac. Okay. So that was Genesis chapter 25 and 19. I'm going to draw this correlation for y'all. 19 through 34. Okay. Verse 20. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Padanaram, the sister to Laban, the Syrian. Okay. 21. And Isaac entreated the Most High for his wife because she was barren. And the Most High was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. Verse 22. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Most High. Okay, so these boys was in her womb, and they were battling. They was rumbling. These boys was it was like the Royal Rumble in her womb. They was fighting. And she said, well, hey, you sure the Most High said for this to be so? Because they, women that's, these I know y'all sisters that's that had, children. You understand, baby get the moving and dancing in there, and moving all your intestines and guts and all that, Salakia. hey, she got two of them in there, and they in there rumbling. So hey, you can only imagine what that sister was feeling. That's right. Okay, verse 23. And the Most High said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, and the people, Salakia, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. Okay, that's very important. Y'all make a note of that. I know y'all know it, but some people don't. So, right. Salakia. Yeah, a lot of heartburn. God, sis. Yeah. Hey, them boys was in there rumbling, So hey, I can only imagine the sister was in a bit of discomfort. You know how it feels for one to be in there moving and doing everything that he doing. She had 2 of them in there, and they was in there scrapping. Okay, verse 24. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. Okay. Verse 25. And the first came out red all over, like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. Okay. Keep these in your notes. I know y'all already have them, but I'm going to say it again anyway. What's milk to us is meat to everybody else. Okay, verse 26. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 years old when she bare them. Okay. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents. Okay. It's saying we are simple people. You know, we are simple people. If you think about it, to this day, Esau likes to do wild things, you know. He is wild. You know, he likes to be out there in the wild hunting big game animals, you know, a animal that's 1,000 pounds, you know. He gets a thrill on that, you know, being out there shooting them and, you know, unaliving them and things like that, you know. Hey, man, I understand the process, you know. Hey, we got to have animals to eat, to have meat and things like that. But, you know, I don't know that I want to be out there hunting 1,000-pound buffalo. You know, that's a little extreme for me. You know, but this is what Esau loves to do. You know, he's a hunter, and you know, they're so wicked that what was the book you had quoted out of one, The Dangerous Game, the dangerous, is that what it was called?
Oh yeah, The Most Dangerous Game. Right.
The Most Dangerous Game. You know, they got bored with hunting animals. They wanted to hunt people.
Right.
Hey, the devil, the oppressor is the devil, the Bible speaks of.
That's right.
Okay. So, okay. We're going to move on. Verse 28. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. Okay, so, you know, Isaac, you know, he was kind of, you know, that was his favorite son. You know, he kind of, you know, he loved Esau. You know, that's all right. That was his son. You know, it's all right for a father to love his son. Okay, rock climbing on a mountain, no rope. right. That's the kind of craziness that this man likes to do. You know? Rock climbing on a mountain with no rope. Yeah, you know, I could never in 100 years imagine me doing some of the things I see Esau do. You know, not because I'm unable, because I'm sane. You know, I am sane, mind and body, and I understand that climbing a mountain with no rope is hazardous to my health. So yeah, right. Khan. You know, these oppressors are wicked. Okay. Let me get to this scripture. All right. 29. And Jacob sowed pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. All right. And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. Okay. He was red all over, and he want that red pottage. Okay. His name was called Edom. All right. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. Okay. All right. Jacob owned to something now. All right. Verse 32. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die. He said, hey, look, I've been out here in the field all day. I've been hunting and, you know, unaliving animals. Hey, man, I'm about to die. And what profit shall this birthright do to me? All he thinking about is feeding his belly, because the white man is a disgusting, greedy bastard. Okay? So the only thing he can think about is stuffing his own belly right now. You know? What do you think about it? You know, let's stop right there for a minute and ponder on that. You know, Jacob understanding that, man, you don't deserve this, man. You couldn't walk down the street in my father's shoes. Right. You know, that's what Jacob is saying to this man right now. But, you know, he understands who he's dealing with, so he has to be smart about it. He has to be wise about it. Yeah, man, okay. Ain't no problem, man. You want the pot of stew, you can have it. You know, give me your birthright. Because you know why? He knew he was going to do it. That's right. Because he knew how wicked he was. He knew he was going for it. Sell me the birthright that our Father is going to leave behind for this pottage, for this stew. All right. And that's all it took. Because he's such a greedy, disgusting pig, you know, he was ready to sell his birthright for that pottage, for that stew. Okay? Verse 33. And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he sware unto him. And he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Verse 34. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils. And he did eat and drink, and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. He despised his birthright. Okay? It is saying he despised his birthright. He didn't want nothing to do with it. Now, we just spoke about how Abraham was at that time the greatest man around in the Most High's eyes. Okay? And the Most High came to Isaac, his son, and said, because your father was so good, okay? If you can, hold a matchstick to his accomplishments, I'm going to bless you too.
That's right.
I'm going to bless you too. Now, granted, Isaac probably was nowhere near as great as Abraham, but he was pretty damn great himself. Okay? So Jacob saw that. Jacob saw all his accomplishments, and he heard of his father's accomplishments in his old age. And it's like that today. It's like that today. You got kids, and some of your kids want to carry on your legacy and your work and do what made you proud. And then the other ones, they just don't give a damn. When you die, they just want your expensive stuff so they can sell it. That's it. I mean, he's Salakia. But I'm telling the truth. Some of them they just want all your cars and jewelry and your fine china dishes and things like that, so they can go right there to the pawn shop and see how much they can get for it. Right. I know them dishes got to be at least worth about $1,500, $2,000. Let me go see what I can get for them. And then you got the other ones. They will never sell not a single dish out that china cabinet because it's near and dear to their heart. They admire it. Jacob admired his father.
No matter how poor they are.
Right, Khan. No matter how poor they are, Jacob admired his father. Okay, he admired the work that his father did. And it's crazy because Isaac, he loved Esau. Like, hey, my boy Esau, But Jacob was the one. Jacob was the one that wanted to keep his inheritance. Right. And you got this. We on the line, so I got to be careful what I say. But you got this Edomite, the king of the Edomites. Okay, he was ready to give his father's birthright up because he was a little hungry. He was a little bit hungry, and he being a punk too. Coming in, I'm about to faint. I'm about to die. Let me get some of that. Let me get some of that stew. I don't care about the birthright. Being a punk. And Jacob said, hey, look, have it all, man. Hey, can I get the birthrights of our father? can I get our father's birthrights? Because he already knew them. Just like we all got that family member that, hey, we love them because they family, but hey, they do something completely different than we do. They go a separate way. All right. Hey, and what he said, he sold him his birthright and went on about his way.
Yeah.
he went right on about his way after he sold that birthright. And that's how it goes. He didn't, at that moment, he didn't think twice about it. He said, man, I'm fooled. Man, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm fooled. I didn't ate. I didn't drink. I'm fooled. I'm good. But yeah, we're going to get a little bit more on Jacob. We'll go into Genesis chapter 32. You know, Jacob, you know, the water for Jacob, the water to the Most High for Jacob coming in and doing what he did. You know what I'm saying? Because, man, yeah, hey. But this was already preordained. The Most High knew all this was going to happen, you know, and he wanted something special for Blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians. You know what I'm saying? Which is why he made our forefather Jacob, you know, and not Esau. Okay, so I'm gonna get Genesis 32. Let's see, Genesis 32. Okay, 32 and 28. I'm gonna start at 28. Yeah, so you know that wicked man sold everything that his father owned and was passing down for some food. Okay, Genesis chapter 32, verse 28. And he said, "Thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel, for as a prince hast thou power with the power and with men, and has prevailed." Okay, now I read this earlier, and you know, coming into ISUPK, you learn the Bible, you learn how to read the Bible. Okay, that was powerful. I want y'all to catch that. As a prince has thou power with the power. Okay, so when we see God like this in the scripture, we say the power. We know that's the power. Okay, and with men. Okay, so you have power with the power. Just sit with that for a minute. Okay, sit with that for a minute. All right, we all know. Hey, don't jump the gun. We know what his name is going to be. But sit with that. You have power with the power. Okay? So the Most High is saying, hey, with me, you powerful. You are powerful with me. No one can stand in our way as long as we keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. We have power with the Most High. We are powerless without the Most High. Okay? Without the Most High, anybody can do anything to us and nothing will happen. With the Most High, they will be slain with the sword that they tried to slay us with. They will go into the same captivity that they have put us in. That's the Most High. You know, that's the power of the Most High. Okay? So we got 32 and 28. Now I'm going to read 29. And Jacob asked him and said, "Tell me, I pray thee, thy name." And he said, "Wherefore is it that thou dost ask after my name?" And he blessed him there. He blessed him, you know. He blessed Jacob, you know. Jacob, you know, Jacob was like, hey, what's your name? Hey, why are you asking my name? Don't worry about it. You know, that's what the Most High said. Well, don't worry about it. But you know what? Hey, I got something for you, man. Do what I'm telling you to do. I'm going to bless you. You know, he blessed him. Okay. 28. Okay, he blessed him. And Jacob called the name of the place Peniel, for I have seen the power face to face, and my life is preserved. Verse 31. And as he passed over Peniel, the sun rose upon him, and he halted upon his thigh. Okay, I'm at 32 and 28. I'm going to go to, let me see, therefore the children. Oh, give me 1 second. Yeah, I'm going to 33 now. I'm going to go to 33. And Jacob lifted up his eye. Oh, Salakia. Genesis chapter 33, verse 1. And Jacob lifted up his eyes and looked, and he beheld, and he behold, Esau came, and with him 400 men. And he divided the children unto Leah and unto Rachel and unto the two handmaids. Okay, so that's 33. I'm going to go down to 33 and 20 so I can find what I'm looking for. So, Lockie, y'all bear with me. Okay, Genesis chapter 33, verse 20. And he erected there an altar and called it Elohi Israel. All right. And in the Hebrew, that would be Al-Lahayim, Yasha'Allah. Okay, the power in Israel. Okay. This is speaking about Jacob and his lineage and how he came into power. I want to go back up because let's see, Jacob, city of Israel. Give me 1 second. I'm looking for so this is speaking about Israel, Jacob coming into his name and being who he is. I'm going to find that in the scripture. I want to see the exact scripture where he got his name. Okay. Give me 1 second. Bear with me. Yeah, so, the Most High is blessing Jacob. He's telling him the same thing he told Abraham. He's telling him the same thing he told Isaac. Okay, yeah, that's it. Yeah, 32. Yeah, did I go over that? 32. Yeah. I did. Okay, come. Yeah, I did go over that. Come. Okay. So, yeah. So, he turned his name to Israel, which is interpreted as the Prince of Power in Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? Yasha'Allah in the Hebrew. He is the Prince of Power. Okay. Now, I'm going to go down to 33. I did 33 and 20. Let me go down to, okay. Yeah, 33 and 20. That was talking about what he did in the land. He named the land. Okay. Yeah. So, all right. So Israel, they I'm drawing the history for y'all. Israel ended up going to Egypt. They went into Egypt looking for, crops and everything. Canaan had become a dry land. It had been dried out. There was no crops or anything there. They went into Egypt, looking for some corn and things like that to feed themselves, And so Israel, the Pharaoh had started looking at Israel, right? And he was looking at Israel like I don't know if y'all seen Belly, that brother with the big glasses and the perm that was eating the banana. Hey, might have to drop a dime on them niggas, you know what I'm saying? Hey, he wanted to do something to Israel, He said, hey, they're getting too strong and too powerful, Pretty soon they're gonna be, they're gonna try to overtake us, And Pharaoh, Pharaoh didn't like that, Pharaoh didn't like that. So he came up against Israel, in a strong, very strong way, in a very strong way. And we know in here what Egypt has always meant to us. What does Egypt mean to us? What when we hear the word Egypt, what does that mean? Class, if y'all could put that in the chat, Bubble Kasha. What does Egypt mean? If you will, while you find that, if I could get my first let me get my first video, if you will, Bubble Kasha. Yeah, y'all put, what does Egypt mean to Israelites in the Bible? What is Egypt synonymous with? Okay, we got an answer. Bondage, absolutely. Give that sister a hand. Bondage. Egypt absolutely means bondage to us. Okay. So, all right. Now we got that. I'm gonna get this this little quick video, and then I'm gonna ask another question, because the following question is just as important.
Which one you need?
I need slaves on the wall. Yep. Okay. The what? Yep, we're gonna watch a short video, class.
Hispanic or Native American, you are an Israelite according to so-called Black, Hispanic, or Native American, you are an Israelite according to the Bible. That is your true heritage. That is who you are. Right there on the top, you see a hieroglyphic of the Hebrew slaves in Egypt. The so-called people in Israel right now that wear the small hats on their head, no one tells them anything for believing that they are the chosen people of God, that they are the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and King David, King Solomon, and all those great men. No one tells them anything. In fact, they give them money and weapons to unalive people and fight wars in the name of it. But if so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans believe that we are the Israelites, that we are the chosen people of God, then it's a problem. But look, those people over there, they don't even look like the hieroglyphics. And no one tells them anything. So if it's not a problem for them, why is it a problem for us to believe it? So-called Black, Hispanic, or Native American, you are an Israelite according to the Bible. That is your true heritage.
Damn right. Get that brother. I don't know the brother's name particularly. I know he's a brother in the UPK. I see the UPK banner underneath him. And yeah, he made a very important point. That why do they get mad at us for saying we're Israelites? But anybody and everybody else can call themselves whatever they want to be. Hell, you can be a boy and call yourself a girl and they'll accept it. But a Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian person calling themselves Israelites, we face instant pushback for us calling ourselves the Israelites. The small hats, like he said, they can call themselves the Jews. Mm-hmm. Nobody has ever said anything to them about calling themselves Jews. Why? When you like the brother said, clearly when you look at the Jews in bondage on the walls in Egypt, they're black. They're black. There have never been white people painted on the walls in Egypt as servants, slaves. The slaves in Egypt were black. Okay? So, I mean, to me, it's crazy that anybody would believe that these people who are white, I mean, very white, very, very white skinned, I mean, and you can only imagine. You see how they get blistered up and burned out here in normal heat. Imagine in Egypt, Well, these cats got to wear stuff wrapped around their face and nose and everything so the sun don't burn them up, Black people are like, imagine a Edomite over there, you know what I'm saying? An oppressor over there in that sun. I can't see it.
Right.
I can't see it, They can barely make it over here in the United States when it gets summertime, But I tell you where they can make it, in the Caucasus Mountains of Georgia, Russia. That's where they can make it. That's their environment. Right. That cold environment in the mountains, they can make it there all day long. No, I can't see them in an environment that's hot, blistering hot like that. Okay, so all right, so I could serve. They would perish. That's right. Damn right. They can't handle the truth, so they will do anything to distort the truth. Damn right. Damn right. Get them sisters.
Damn right.
You know, damn right. They would perish. You know, you tell you somebody that damn white, you know, and putting them over there, man, they'll burn up, man. They'll burn up. Now, you know, they've adapted. You know, it's some it's some Edomites over there now, you know what I'm saying? But it's not like it was then, you know. You think about then, you know, we're talking about slaves. And we understand slaves being in the field, working, you know, getting their back whipped. That's the type of slavery we're talking about. You know, nah. I can't see Esau doing it. Well, hey, listen, I take that back. I see them doing it all the time in my head. when that kingdom, hey, when the kingdom is ours, I play that in my head so much, you know, about them doing the same type of chattel slavery that we had to experience as people, that our people endured. You know, yeah, I see that often. You know, I see that often in my head. Okay. So, all right, so we got Jacob. And now I want to talk about, well, first of all, we just talked about Egypt and the markings on the wall in Egypt. I want to get a little more on that. Let me get, okay, you are the same slave. Let me get that video if I can, for sure. You know, because we are the same people that went into captivity in Egypt, and we got a word from Jeremiah Hyman. He's gonna speak on that.
Owned by the Pharaoh of Egypt were required. Slaves owned by the Pharaoh of Egypt were required to pay him 20% of their income, their harvest from their crops, from their farm. Fast forward to 2025.
This is research on Egyptian slavery. Egyptian slaves received money. They got paid money. Why is this important? Because you're a slave right now, today. You're a slave. The slaves in Egypt had to give Pharaoh 20% of what they earned from their slavery. What would you call that today? Blow my mind with the answer: taxes. That's what that would be.
Right.
The slaves had to pay taxes. Amazon does not pay taxes. Right? They don't pay any taxes. Jeff Bezos pays 0 taxes. But the people that work at Amazon pay taxes. They pay taxes, right? This is what slavery was like in Egypt. Why is this important? Do not think that you're not a slave simply because you receive a paycheck. Slaves in Egypt received paychecks, and 20% of that had to go back to Pharaoh, which is what you would call today federal taxes.
Hey, get a general here. Let's get a general here. Hey, you know, that was heavy. That was heavy. That the general just basically painted the picture the way he does. That you're still in Egypt. You are still in slavery. You know, which he just brought out, that they were getting paid a wage also, just like you do. You get paid a wage. And your oppressor gets part of that wage. You'll never see it. Hey, look, when you see that gross and net, you know, that gross and net, you know, you'll never get it all.
That's right.
You know, you'll never get it. You know, so hey, don't come up in here. Yeah, that is deep, sis. Yeah, you know, don't come up in here talking about complaining about paying your 10%. You know, when you paying all them taxes to the white man. You know, we don't want to hear it. but come in here and complain about paying the Most High his 10%. You got to be out your mind. The oppressor want to take everything from you. The Most High, he wanted 10% so he can build up these schools. So we can build up these schools and bring y'all the truth and get y'all out of the hell that you are in the streets of Norfolk, the streets of Chesapeake, the streets of Portsmouth, the streets of Richmond, the streets of Baltimore, the streets of DC. Yeah, that's why you pay your 10%. So we can build up these schools like the Most High has commanded us. But yeah, back to what the general was saying, those slaves in Egypt were taxed, just like you are. All the same. But guess who he said ain't taxed? Jeff Bezos ain't taxed at Amazon, which is nuts. You know how much money Amazon makes? Man, look, my little paycheck compared to what Jeff Bezos is making. And why the hell he ain't got to pay no taxes? Right. It's crazy. But the little man on the totem pole, we paying everything. And as the general said, Jeff Bezos ain't got to pay taxes, but the people working for him, they paying taxes. Make that make sense. Right. Make it make sense. So the oppressor don't take no for an answer. He doesn't. He doesn't. He does. The oppressor doesn't take no for an answer. Imagine, you working for a company and y'all are the workers, and y'all paying all the taxes for the company. The company ain't paying, the owner of the company, he ain't paying jack squat. Y'all paying it. And that's accurate. That's what it is. That's what's happening. The rich is getting richer and the poor is getting more poor.
Right.
Okay, so I asked y'all earlier, I told y'all we we're going to have another question. Now, we had spoke on what Egypt means. All right. So the Israelites went into Egypt and, eventually they came out of Egypt. Does anybody know what coming out of Egypt, what the biblical word for them coming out of Egypt was? Systematic oppression. Damn right, sis. Systematic oppression. It is. It's oppression in its entirety. Not just, systematically and any other way you want to put it. It is oppression. It's very much oppression. So if anybody can tell me what's the biblical word for out of bondage. That's not the specific word I'm looking for. Okay. All right, so I don't want to give it away, but think about Shalom, sis. Hey, but think about the chapter where we came out of oppression. If you can think about that. Okay, we got Ashimagabar, Shalom, Yahaba Hashem Yah Shabrakatah, from Midlothian, Virginia. No, that's not what I'm looking for, Trooper McCall Yalla. I'm looking for the word. It's a specific word. You know it or you don't. I mean, but it's no pressure, It's a specific word. Think about I'm trying not to give it to y'all, but think about the Bible verse. Well, not the Bible verse, Salaki, the Bible scripture, the chapter where we came out of captivity. What was that called? I mean, I pretty much gave you the answer. I don't want to give it to you all the way. What was that called when we came out of captivity? What's the name of that? Yep. You got a question?
Raise your hand.
No, that's what we were in. it's a name, a specific name for when we came out of bondage. And it's a chapter in the Bible that speaks solely. There it is. There it is. Exodus. All right, now stay right there. Okay. What does Exodus mean? If anybody can answer that. You know, because everything in the Bible means something. All these words are very important. Mass. Yeah, we came out in mass. Damn right. Damn right. We did that. What does Exodus mean? If anybody knows what that word means, this is a very important word. And you, okay, damn right. Aqualazar got it again. Damn right. To exit. You know, and that's where really the word derives from. When you see like the exit signs on places, that's where that comes from. You know, exodus, you know, which means to exit or leave or come out. You know, so the water, that was, you know, immigration. Since I see where you're going with that, but yeah, we were looking for that specific answer on exit. And the chapter I was speaking about is Exodus. In the book of Exodus, Moses is getting ready to rally the troops and getting ready to go to the Most High on the behalf of his brethren that he is seeing be oppressed in the worst way possible, you know, underneath Pharaoh, you know, and, you know, so let's back it up a little bit. We ended up wandering into Egypt looking for, you know, for, hey, we trying to get a little corn and little crops and things like that so we can eat, you know. Our crops ain't growing over here in Canaan, you know, where we at, where we posted up at. Hey, you know, Jacob said, hey, I heard they got corn over there in Egypt. I don't know, I'm just shooting, you know, shooting in the dark, but I heard they got corn over there. Let's go over there, you know. And we went there and, you know, Pharaoh had an evil eye towards us the whole time. You know, Pharaoh saw that we were growing and we were getting bigger. We were doing everything the Most High said he was going to do for us. He was going to make us a great nation of people. And, you know, Pharaoh said, oh, no, they're getting too high and mighty. They're getting too big. You know, nah, I gotta stop that. I got to put an end to that before they put an end to us. You know, and he came up against the Israelites, you know, and put them in slavery. Moses, you know, he went to the Most High and partitioned the Most High, you know what I'm saying? Well, the Most High went to, you know, he came to Moses and told him, hey, listen, I'm about to set my people free. You're going to lead them. You know, I'm about to set them free and you're going to lead them. Exodus was the chapter. Okay. So, all right, if you could, we were drawing a correlation for the lineage. We started with, I'm going back again. We started with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We briefly spoke on Moses. If you could give me the 12 tribe chart, Baba Kushar. And this is who we are today, currently, in what is now current day Babylon. Okay. This is who we are. This 12, if y'all will look at this chart, you know, and you can find and identify with who you are via this chart. Okay. Can they see it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, come. All right, so you got Judah. All right, Yahweh, which means Yahweh thinks. You got Benjamin, Ban Yamyan in the Hebrew, which means son of the right. You got Levi, Lord Yah, which, okay, means joined to me. You got Simeon, which means Shemaiwan, okay, a afflicted, heard, affliction, heard, Salakia. You got Zebulun, dwelling, Zabalawan, okay, in the Hebrew. You got Ephraim, I am faithful, Aparayam, okay, that's how you say it in the Hebrew. You got Manasseh, made to forget, Manashah in the Hebrew. You got Gad, which is, you say that the same way, just Gad, you know, and
God.
it is a truth. Gad, how you say it?
God.
Oh, okay, Salakia, you said God in the Hebrew, okay. So, oh yeah, and that's very important. The words Ashirash, you want to make sure in the Hebrew that you pronunciate those characters different. And Salakia, you know, we get in the habit of saying things the way we say it in English because we've been speaking English our whole life, you know, and this is our language. We have to get accustomed to saying these things the way that it's supposed to be said. It's supposed to be said. So Gad is God in the Hebrew. Okay, you got Reuben. See, it's a son. Ra'aban. Okay, you got Asher, which is happy. Ashar. You got Naphtali, which is Naphtaliah. Okay, Salakia. My Hebrew's a little rusty, but I can work with it. Okay, you got Issachar. He is hired, which is Yashikar in the Hebrew. And as you see, we got the Hebrew characters off to the right, which are, we go over that in Lashawan Kodash class. And I believe the last class they were doing the ancient. I believe they were doing the ancient in the last class. Yeah, they were. I was watching. I was attending that class also. They were doing the ancient, and Officer Yagadar and Officer Matazar Karad do an excellent job with the Hebrew. Let's give them a hand. They do an excellent job teaching that Hebrew. You know, I say Officer Matazar, that's a Hebrew speaking ninja right there, man. You know, so he do it to Wab. You know, and of course we got Officer Rashamath, who is like AI reading the Hebrew. You know, he's like a machine reading the Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? So and we all learn from them and Cap. You know, so let's get those brothers a hand again. You know, for teaching us that Hebrew the way that they do. You know, they are surgical with it. I'm learning it. But yeah, so if y'all take a moment to look at that, and all these names have meaning. Everybody's name has a meaning. When you come into the truth, your name has a meaning. That's our culture. All right? You don't just get a name just because it sounds cool. You get a name because that's who you are. That's your characteristics. Okay? And I think it's important, Judah, if you scroll up to Judah, okay, Judah, his name is given in Genesis 29 and 35, I do believe, and it says Yahweh thanks. Okay, and his name is Yahweh Da. Okay, so for all the fake Israelites, right? This is a teaching moment. That you say Judah. The way to say Judah is Yahweh Da, okay? And you know that it means Yahweh thanks. How could the Most High's name be something else? I mean, seriously, how can the Most High's name be something else when you seeing it there as plain as day? Yahweh thanks. I didn't make it up. I mean, I didn't make it up, I just quote the things that have been taught to me. I quote the things that have been taught to me. And, I remember asking Officer Raj years ago, I said, how do we know that the Most High's name is Yahweh? He said, hey, yeah, no sweat, because we know Hebrew. We know Hebrew. We speak Hebrew. We read Hebrew. We teach Hebrew. It's no sweat, brother. And this is when I was a young man. I asked Officer Raj this, a while ago, and and the answer was perfect. He said, because we know how to read Hebrew. It's simple as that. We know how to read Hebrew, so we know what the Most High's name is. And there goes the 12 tribes up there for y'all. Okay, so I want to go to, if you could, Baba Kushah, give me the pictures of the blacks writing Hebrew. All right.
I think this would also, you might have to break this down
as
well at the bottom here.
Come. Okay, come. Yeah, so I'll do that. Okay, so Judah is the Negroes, the so-called African Americans. You got Benjamin, which is the West Indies, the West Indians. Those are the so-called, what would you call them? Jamaicans, or West Indies. We're gonna say West Indies because that's the name that they're
Tobago,
right? Come.
Barbados,
Virgin
Island.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta know that so you don't be racist.
Right. Come.
No sweat.
It's like I didn't mean to say it. I'm just saying how brothers would say it in the in the world. So and that is true. Okay, you got Levi, the Haitians. You got Simeon, Dominicans, Zebulon. Those are Guatemalans to Panama. Okay, you got Ephraim. These are the Puerto Ricans. Manasseh. Those are the Cubans. God. These are Native Americans, okay, or the so-called Native Americans. Reuben, Rawaban, we got Seminole Indians. Naphtali, we got Argentina to Chile. Ashar, we got Colombia to Uruguay. And Issachar, the Mexicans. So yeah, if y'all, if you leave that there for a second, everybody can look, and identify. We all know who we are now, but anybody who might be in the class that doesn't know exactly who they are just yet, we got the 12 tribes chart, and that is our chart. If you see at the bottom, you see the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge on there. So let's give the school that. Right. You see that on there, and that is what we go by. This is who we are. So the water, I'll Shirash for that. And I want to get the picture of the blacks writing Hebrew. Pictures of the blacks writing Hebrew. Okay. All right. So if you see this, when y'all see this picture, this is a picture, an old picture, very old picture of this is a sister. And she looks like she's teaching a little brother Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? You can see the Hebrew on the wall. We in the Lashawan Kodash class, so we can easily identify a lot of these characters. You see the la, the na. You see the I, the ka, the ba. I mean, you see these things up here. The la, the sha, the qua, the ra. And this is a sister. This don't look like this is fair use. So yeah, but yeah, you see this sister teaching Hebrew, and this don't look like no Hamite. This look like a sister. Her name might be Eartha May or something like that. You know what I'm saying? This is a sister. This might be Lula May or Willie May or somebody like that. I'm willing to bet her name got a May in it or something like that. She's a sister, is what I'm saying. So when you see pictures like this old of people teaching the Hebrew, and Salakia, I want to go on the record saying that sister don't got no damn business teaching Hebrew. Okay, let me go on the record saying that. All right, but all the same, she's teaching it. You know what I'm saying? And this is a black person. So let me set the record straight. Shiraz, you know what I'm saying? She ain't had no damn business teaching the Hebrew. Salakia,
There's levels to it, brother. But right. I hear you though.
Right. She had no damn business teaching, So but she's there. And yeah, so all right, this is us. And I think they're in America. I'm not sure. I can't tell anything about the picture other than She's teaching Hebrew, and this is a really, really old picture. This is us, when we probably right after slavery, shortly after slavery, we still had some of the Hebrew in us. So I just like to show pictures like that to show that, we have been Israelites, and we have been teaching and learning and reading and writing the Hebrew language forever. We just, got away from it. Slavery, they beat it the hell out of us. And, we kind of never got back to it until, we got into the ISUPK and started learning here. My next thing I wanted to go to, I wanted to talk about the transatlantic slave trade, in America. So I want to talk about the transatlantic slave trade. Got something I want to pull up here. Okay, the transatlantic slave trade from 1525 to 1866. Roughly 12.5 million people were kidnapped from Africa, with over 10 million surviving the journey to the Americas to fuel architectural and industries. Slaveries were legally codified, treating black people as property. Okay. Salaka, that word was agricultural. Salaka, agricultural industries. Agricultural industries. Salaka. Okay. Agricultural industries. Okay. Slavery was legally codified, treating black people as property. Okay, so first and foremost, I would like to acknowledge 12.5 million. And they said 10 million survived. So goddamn near 3 million people damn near died on the journey over here in the belly of that slave ship. That's heavy. That's heavy right there. Damn near 3 million people died just on the voyage over. They said 10 million surviving. Now they said were kidnapped from Africa. We understand that, the Africans sold our black behind, into slavery. That whole idea that they paint like, and see, this says Africans. We're not Africans. We have never been Africans. We were in Africa, but we're not Africans. And we know now that we were in Africa, but we're not Africans. And so that's important to point out too, because the Negro, the so-called Negro, is not an African. All right. Now, as far as being kidnapped, no, we were more like we were sold. We were sold off. I'm not gonna believe that picture that you just came in with nets and guns and and just start grabbing people. Hell no. We had guns and swords and knives and bow and arrows and all of that stuff too. This was somebody who tricked us. Somebody who we thought, okay, we all right. We've been here building with the Africans, the damn Hamites. They all right. They ain't gonna do us. No, they did us. And it's kind of our fault for not doing what the Most High had commanded us to do. We did not obey the Most High. Which is why we were over there in the first place. We didn't obey the Most High. And, he sent us into slavery again by way of ships. Okay? By way of ships. Okay? And I'm going to get that scripture for y'all real quick. By way of ships. No, we weren't kidnapped. We were sold. And the Most High, just like the Most High said, we would be sold. Okay, so Deuteronomy 28 and 68. And the Most High shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Okay, that's Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. Okay. Aquathariah says sharks changed their migration to follow the ships because of them throwing bodies off and people unaliving themselves. Damn right. Get that sister in. Damn right. Damn right. Yep. And I read something about that Aquathariah that it changed the whole ecosystem in the ocean because now you got fish and sharks feeding on unalive bodies instead of the things that they're supposed to be feeding on. You know, so that's very heavy what that sister just brought out. You know, yep. And another thing I want to bring out since you brought that out, the ecosystem in the ocean, it's off now because people are eating so many crab, shrimp, and lobster that the ecosystem in the ocean is off. The chemistry is off because they're eating so many shellfish. Shellfish have a purpose in the ocean, and their purpose is not to be captured and be eaten. Their purpose is to clean the ocean floor and to clean the ocean. And people are eating so many shellfish that the biology of the ocean is off. You know, the animals the fish that do eat shellfish in the ocean, they're dying off. And other fish also, because the ocean isn't as clean as it's supposed to be because they're eating so. And I saw this at a library. They were collecting, like they were like, "Hey, listen, you're gonna eat the shellfish, just bring the shells back so we can put them back in the ocean, so the coral reefs and things like that can be made with the shells that are supposed to be made in the ocean." I'm like, well, damn, that's crazy. You know, that's crazy. You know, and we're not supposed to eat it at all. The Most High commanded us not to eat it. You know, it's a lot I wanted to get to tonight. I don't think I'm going to get to all. I know I'm not going to get to all of it. But the water to y'all for coming out tonight and staying in class. You know, I appreciate everybody that's here that listened to me teach my class. And you know, hey, you know, the water with y'all for y'all for bearing with me. You know, I'm getting better with this every week. You know, I'm getting better with this every week. You know, one day I aspire to be like Officer Rush. You know, come in here.
I'm trying to get like y'all, brother. Shoot, y'all be teaching hella shit. It's a lucky.
One day I aspire to be like Officer Rush and come in here. You know, yeah. I'm gonna be in here like Officer Rush with the sword on my shoulder and everything. Like, you know how he teach. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and I'm gonna teach a class like Officer Rush. Hey, you know,
you're doing an excellent job.
The water out of one. You know, but I'm gonna fast forward a little bit because we're getting up on the time. So all right, so boom. I'm gonna skip the Civil War. I wanted to talk about the Civil War. I'm gonna skip the Civil War. I'm gonna go to post-slavery. There was a point in time in history where, man, the oppressor is the devil the Bible speaks of. I'm going to the racist postcard where, you know, people who were in the army and off at school and everything, they could send a postcard right to their family. And this is what some of the postcards look like, you know, that white people were sending to their family members. Okay? This is what some of the postcards look like. I mean, disgusting, you know? And there's some, listen, I kept it PG for class. There are some postcards that they were sending that was way worse than this. You know, you got you know, these Edomites were sending postcards home to their family. They're off in college, talking about, yeah, Merry Christmas, Mom, Merry Christmas, Dad, and, you know, a black man hanging from a tree. These were postcards they were sending back home. That were, this was supposed to be, this was happy postcards they were sending back home. And I'm sure the mom and dad would get it and they were, oh, look at this, you know, and laugh and have a good time that they seen a black man swinging and dangling from a tree. This is an era of history that cannot be erased and will not be erased. Okay? What Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians have endured here in this land. That's as much American history as the social study books that you read.
Right.
The atrocities that Blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians have suffered here is American history. Don't ever let them tell you to forget it. They tell you to forget our history over here, but then they want you to commemorate 9/11 every year. Okay? They want you to commemorate George Washington, who owned slaves, by the way.
Right.
You know, I want to say he owned a whole lot of damn slaves. You know, they want you to forget and commemorate their days. You know, I think presidents, they just passed not that long ago, probably about a week or two ago, a few weeks ago. I don't celebrate the crap, so I don't remember, but you know, they want you to forget things like that easily.
Mm-hmm.
They tell you they just want you to say, hey, look, hey, that was just so long ago. Forget about it. Why the hell am I remembering Christopher Columbus? Why the hell am I remembering George Washington? You know, why the hell am I remembering 9/11? You know, why the hell are you forcing me to learn about the Jewish Holocaust in school? But my history, my heritage, you'll barely scrape the surface of it, the atrocities. You know, I've seen, I was in school and I saw pictures of naked white men, Salakia, in the Holocaust, being buried. And on them trains and everything, you know, I looked at it like, hey man, damn, that's terrible. You know, and they did that to get my mind off of what they did to my people, what they did to our people. Okay, so you know, the real Holocaust is the Black Holocaust.
That's right.
You know, the transatlantic slave trade. How can you know, they mourn and cry and do all this stuff about, you know, these so-called Jewish people who aren't Jewish. You know, I'm not saying it's not bad what happened to them, but it's 100 times worse what happened to us. You know, and this, you know, the so-called Holocaust that brought on World War II, they speak about this in school every year. It's part of the curriculum. African American history, so-called quote unquote African American history, was an elective when I was in school. You had to sign up to learn African American history.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it wasn't just like something that was mandated for you to learn. That was an elective.
That's right.
Right. If you wanted to learn about, you know, pillars in the Black community and things post and prior to and pre-slavery and after slavery and before slavery, you had to take an elective. You know, I can remember you know, Aqua Rye said it's still happening today. Man, that's wild. That's crazy.
Yep, they just found a body hung in the woods yesterday.
Jeez. Man. Yeah, it's crazy, you know. But yeah, we up on the time, so you know, it's been a Sawab class, Sawab to have you all in class. I'm gonna go ahead and get these announcements and get y'all out of here. You got the announcements with you. Sawab to everybody for coming. Okay. No, the watch.
I got the ball.
All right, ISUPK security announcements. We're the ISUPK. Start out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for a year. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After a year, if a brother or sister has interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3 and 8 through 10. Ma'ashra, which means tenth in the Hebrew. 10% of any penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department. Okay, you go to isupk.com, tap the blue tab. It'll say tithes, donation. You pay your tithes like that. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give, give it. Upcoming holy convocations, we got the Feast of Purim. That is March 2nd, I believe. Okay, that's March 2nd. Okay.
Yes, March 2nd.
Okay, upcoming holy convocations, Purim, March 2nd. Okay, Akim and Akwakim, you check your bulletin board in your school and in the hallway of the school. Any brother that wants to be a trooper, if he wants to be a trooper in the school, he's to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pant, and headband or war scarf. Okay, so yeah, y'all troopers, y'all listen up. We need y'all in the school. We need y'all to come in here and start doing the work of the Lord, building yourselves up and becoming troopers and in the school. And you're gonna start as a young man, then you're gonna be a trooper, and then Lord willing, you'll be an officer. But you know, we need warriors in this truth. So yeah, any man that has the spirit to come in here and get in this truth. We need you. We need real men, no cowards. Okay, cowards don't come by here. Okay, so that's it. We're gonna stand and give a salute to the highest ranking man of Israel, Imagine, which means to stand. Imagine Shabbat, Imagine Barak, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah Barakatham.
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah Barakatham.
Okay, Yahweh. We're gonna Sar, which means to turn, to the Akwathim, Imagine, which means to stand. Man of Israel, we're gonna give a courteous salute to the sister. Man of Israel, Imagine Shabbat, Imagine Barak, Yahweh Shema Alatham Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh Shema Alatham Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah.
Yahweh dismissed.
Shalom, Israel. We're the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, and you know what time it is. It's the Lord's 57th annual Passover, and it's going to be held in Houston, Texas on April 4th. Don't forget, bring your family, bring your friends, because this is going to be the time that so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans can come under one roof in one house and to serve the Lord. It's that time. $200 per person. Don't forget, over the age of 17. Don't forget the Lord's Passover. It's coming.
Kingdoms ours, all the heathens forbidden. The chosen bow down to no one. It was written.